Hello everyone, welcome back. A while back, I have shown you how to make this beautiful hexagonal hoops. You're welcome to watch it again. Well, today I'm going to take the same design concept and scale it down to make this beautiful rose gold filled hexagonal pendant necklace. I'll be using thicker wire. So the last time it was 20 gauge. Right now we're going to use 18 gauge wire. It can be trickier for sure. It's harder to bend, but don't worry. The same technique will also apply. So grab your tools and let's get started.
Start with 3 cm of 18 gauge rose gold filled wire. Divide this wire into 6 segments. Each segment is 5 mm at length. I mark this simply with Sharpie. Now these dots will be the angles that we will fold exactly at 120 degrees. Using a pair of flat nose pliers, start bending each angle one by one, slowly and precisely. If it's too hard to fold, you can use 2 pairs of flat nose pliers. You can see me struggling a little bit here. The angles does not have the same degrees and some segments are appearing to be longer than the other. Because originally the wire is curved, so I'm going to fix this first. The line on the hexagonal is not completely straight. This what the flat nose pliers for, so I'm gonna flatten this one by one. Also, the segments might not have the same length like I mentioned earlier, and I also need to pay attention to the angles. Not getting it right on the first go is probably most of the case, really. Another trick is to draw the hexagonal first and then just try to bend the wire according to the drawing. Like mentioned earlier, you can go ahead and watch my other video that explains how to draw a hexagonal shape. Right now, I'm going to file the both end. The idea is so that the two edges meet at the corner. I want to trim it off right at the 60 degrees angle so the two segments will meet exactly at 120 degrees. Once I'm done, I'm going to mark the corner with the Sharpie again. The next step is to solder the open corner together. I apply the flux. I'm using borax and water. There are a lot of options out there, including the ready to use. In gold-filled, the oxidation because of the fire can be cleaned up only to a certain level. So be careful with this. This is a sarang that contains solder for 14 karat rose gold. As you can see, the content is only 3 grams. And if you look up the price, they are not cheap at all. This is inevitable. If you plan on solder anything with ghost field, you have to buy this. Okay, so just apply it a little bit on the gap and this is ready to solder. Let's turn on the fire. Don't forget to not point the fire all the time. I mean, you point 1 second and then you point it away for another second and do that back and forth. This is to avoid the fire stain. Once the solder melt, you can stop firing. But I also like to flip on the other side and then fire so that I need to make sure that the solder can flow properly. Once I'm finished, I quench with water first by squirting it. Then put it into the citric acid solution. It's best to warm the solution slightly. You can just microwave it for about 10 seconds. There's no need for a crock pot or a bottle warmer. Guys, I might spark some debate by saying this, but This is just based on my personal experience. Now, after a couple of minutes or sometimes an hour, I really don't have exactly the time. You can see that the rose gold filled piece has slightly stained, but it's not significant, so we can fix that later. I can clean it up with the vinegar and water solution. I still need to adjust the hexagonal shape as it seems to have been affected by the citric acid. While I can't say this for certain, in my experience, every time a piece is soaked in a citric acid solution, it comes out very soft. But in this case, that's beneficial because my hexagonal shape is still malleable. To take off some of the excess solder, I'm using a soft rubber slash pumice. I don't know the name of this bit, I'm sorry, as I get it as a kit from Lidl. So to take off some of the rough edges only on the corner where the solder was too abundant, because it is in solid gold, I can do this. But be careful anyway, unless you want to take off the 14 karat gold layer on this material, it is forbidden to use any abrasive on the gold filled. Moving on to hammering, my favorite thing to do. I'm just going to slightly hammer to give a cute texture to this baby hexagonal. I'm loving this hexagonal so much. And last but not least, polish using the compound. I am using the green compound, and I just had time to ask the AI what is the difference between the red polish compound and the green polish compound. Apparently, the red contains the iron oxide and it is to be used primarily for polishing gold and other soft material. It will provide high gloss. While the green polishing compound, it typically contains chromium oxide and it is used for polishing the harder metals like stainless steel, aluminum. This is not only just for the smooth finish, it can also use for removing scratches. I'm going to continue to what I wanted to do from the beginning is to make a necklace out of these cute geometric hoops. I have this paper clip chain that I ordered on Etsy and I'm going to use it for the chain. I'll be cutting two pieces, each 18 centimeter long, to have a final length of 40.5 centimeter or 16 inches. And then using 24 gauge wire, it's going to be wire wrap uh, from the hexagonal to the chain on both sides. I'm going to let you watch the process instead of describing it with words. I think it's easier that way. Now that the two chains are attached to the hexagonal hoops, I'm going to now install the closure. Cut 5 cm of 24 gauge wire and make a wire wrap. This time I'm going to embellish this with the 3 mm sandstone gemstone to make it really cute. This link is going to be connected to the chain and the other is the open loop. Since the clasp will go into this, I'm going to make the loop bigger than usual. Done. And on the other side, I'll use the same 5 cm of 24 gauge wire. One end will be connected to the chain while the other will be linked to the clasp. I'm using 6 mm spring ring clasp in rose gold wilt, of course. Don't forget to put in the cute sandstone gemstone. And this will be the last step. After this, my necklace is going to be made and ready to ship.
Now that you've learned how to create this hexagonal pendant necklace, this versatile hexagonal shape is not just for necklace. You can transform it into stud earrings like I had done. I will link the listing of the earrings in the description below if you're interested. You can also embellish it with a touch of gemstone. And now that the holiday is coming up, it can be a perfect gift for your loved ones. As I'm saying goodbye, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon to turn on the notification so you can stay up to date on my latest jewelry making tutorials and projects. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.